This is a look, if I've ever seen one. I had plans to put on makeup for you, and then I was like, no, because this is what you're getting today. I've walked Luna out in the blistering heat because we were supposed to get a hurricane tomorrow, and so was trying to get her to the dog park before that happens. I am drenched in sweat. There is no way that I am putting makeup on this face before I shower, so you're welcome. Hi guys, I'm dealing with a non-COVID-19 related cough right now, so if my voice sounds kind of weird and hoarse, that's what it is, just in case someone's gonna leave a comment like, why does she sound like a 50-year-old woman who smokes cigarettes all of her life? So I wanted to talk to you guys today about some of my favorite writing resources, whether you are just starting out or you've been doing this for a few months or a few years. I have friends who have been writing for quite a while, and a few of these were recommended to me by them. A few were just things that I found on my own that I feel like are great resources to know and use. And so I just compiled a few of my favorites, and I wanted to share those with you guys today. Anything that I'm mentioning will be in the description box below if you want to go check it out. There are no affiliate links. I'm not being sponsored to talk about these sites. I just genuinely like them, and I feel like if you're a writer and you really want to go hard on getting published, these are some of your best tools to use. So number one is Google Docs, and I know I discussed this in my writing video that I put up a few days ago or a week ago or however much time has passed, because quarantine, what is time anymore? Whether you've been writing for a day or a year or 10 years, I truly think that Google Docs is the platform for you to use, at least when you're starting a new draft. Now, when you start your revision process, it's definitely more enticing to want to use something like Scrivener or Noveler. I do have the full version of Scrivener on my computer, just waiting for the moment that I finish the draft I'm working on now so I can start revising. But when you're just writing a draft, or if you're offering your writings to your beta readers, it is the easiest platform to use. It is free. You can allow people permissions to comment, so if you have someone who's betaing your story and you would like them to leave notes or feedback or even line edit for you, you can do that right all through Google Docs. I think my favorite thing about it though is that I am a person who has gone through quite a few computer crashes where I have lost everything, and that's very disheartening, especially when you film a million videos back to back and you lose all the footage and you don't have them saved on your card anymore because you deleted it prematurely. That's not something that happened to me. So I like Google Docs for the simple fact that it is auto-saved on the internet. It is connected to your Gmail account. You can actually make it so that you can write offline, and then when you have access to the online, did I just sound like I was, what is happening? When you have access to the internet again, it will auto sync with your document. So it's a great tool. I highly recommend it. I will say the more you write and the longer your document gets, the more time it takes for you to load it if you don't leave it open on your computer. So I've just gotten into the habit of leaving it open because every time I have to exit the document and go back into it, it's just... The next site I want to talk about is Sanctum. Now, I am pretty sure that I found this through Googling. I'm trying to recall. I do have another type of generator website that was recommended to me by a friend. I think it's called Don John, but I've used Sanctum a lot more, and so I just wanted to talk about it really fast. Basically what it is it's an idea generator, and they have so many types of generators. It's everything you could possibly think of. So if you're writing, for instance, like a sci-fi novel and you have a bunch of like alien creatures or alien tech, or you need to make a bunch of planets, or you want to design different ecosystems and types of matter and all this crazy whatever you can think of, they have a generator for all of those separate things, and it's great. If you're struggling to think of like a type of magic that a character has, or if you're struggling to think of a species on a planet, or if you're writing like a paranormal like horror book and you need to like name the agency that the police are gonna work with that's like into paranormal stuff. There's a million scenarios, and this site has something for all of them. So I highly recommend checking it out. Now, something I try to do is I try to not take the exact generated idea, because it is a generator and someone did write that idea, and I know that they probably wrote a bunch of different functions and it just plugs words together, and that's fine, but I still try to like build my own idea from the ideas they give me. So, I mean, it's a generator. You can do with it what you will. If you want to take it verbatim, but I still like to try to be a little bit unique with it. I use it to inspire, not to pull derivative. Okay, so something else that I mentioned but not by name in my writing video was Notebookai. So I love Notebookai. It's very similar to, if any of you guys have heard of the software Campfire that you have to pay for, but Notebookai is free. You make an account and you can actually store your worlds, your creatures, your species, your characters, anything and everything related to your book. You can even like separate by worlds. So if you have multiple novels that you've written, but not every novel is in that same universe, you can separate your universes. You can create your separate planets, your separate everything. I used it partially for Perihelion, and I found that it was very useful. It lets you go super in depth with the characters, so you can get to the nitty gritty. I mean, you can do their blood type. You can talk about what their likes are, their dislikes. It gives you every ability to build out your character as best as possible and keep it in one place. For A View of the Stars, I have been using it more because I have a lot more planets and I have a lot more species and I have a lot more characters. So I've been trying to make sure that all of my information is encompassed in one spot, because when it comes time to start revision, I'm going to go back to Notebook.ai, I'm going to pull all of my character information, and I'm going to plug it into Scrivener, because Scrivener has a similar tool where you can organize your characters and your worlds and your planets and stuff. So, but Notebook.ai is great when you're starting out. I use it in conjunction with Google Docs. I just have them open simultaneously in tabs. It's great. So another recommendation I have, and this might come as a shock to you guys, but sometimes I'm not really good, case in point, at thinking of descriptive words that aren't like my go-to descriptive words. I don't know if it's just because I'm put on the spot when I'm writing. It's a little bit easier in real life to like come up with words if it's just fluidly coming out of my mouth hole. But when I am trying to write something on paper and I don't want it to say so-and-so said, so-and-so said, so-and-so said, every single line of dialogue, it can be difficult to try to break up that monotony with a better word. And so I use a website called KathySteineman.com. I could be saying her last name wrong. If I am, I apologize. But Kathy Steineman has a whole blog on her site that has like, it's a bunch of different like blog posts about like 500 words to describe someone being depressed, or 200 words to describe someone excited or elated. And it just has an entire alphabetical list in each blog post of different words that you can use to describe things, and it's great. And so I also keep that open in a tab when I'm writing. So if I get to a part in my story where I'm like, ugh, I feel like I've said this person glares like 8 times, like how can I break it up? So I use KathySteineman.com to fix that. So highly recommend checking that out. Another website that I just recently started using based on my friend Rosemary's recommendation is Writing with Color. It is a Tumblr, so it's writingwithcolor.tumblr.com. But if you're writing a story that has diverse characters and you want to make sure that you're getting your character portrayed correctly, it is a definite need. The person who runs the Tumblr has done so much research, and it's a very useful tool so that you're portraying a person of color properly in your story. So I highly recommend that. I've been using it because I do have a few characters in my story whom I don't know much about the culture, and I want to make sure that I am 110% portraying it properly and I'm not whitewashing it. So this one might seem stupid, but it's not. My friend Rosemary pointed out to me that Twitter can actually be a very useful tool when it comes to networking with other writers and literary agents. I have pretty much reinvigorated my Twitter account. I wasn't using it for about a year. I let it sit and didn't really post much on it. But now I'm actively using my Twitter again, and I am networking and reaching out to other writers, and I'm reaching out to literary agents, and I'm trying to build relationships, and I'm trying to follow people who write similar genre that I do, and I'm trying to follow literary agents that are looking for the genre that I'm writing, which is sci-fi adult. I know that I left Twitter a while ago because I just felt like it was I don't want to say a dead platform, but I just felt like I wasn't thriving on it. I felt like the things I were tweeting were just like, it was just like air static. Like no one was listening to me and I wasn't listening to anybody else. So like why even be on it? But now I'm using it for a purpose and it's made a huge difference. So the last site I want to talk about before I actually move on to two things that are not necessarily sites, but are more opportunities, is NaNoWriMo. So I actually made a NaNoWriMo account years ago because I thought that maybe I would participate and try to write something, I don't know, I think 2016. And I made an account and I'm like, I'm going to try to do this thing. I'm going to try. And then I didn't try. Big surprise, like full force Kayleigh coming out of the woodwork. NaNoWriMo actually is, right now we're in it, is doing a July writing challenge. And so I have participated and I hit my July goal, which is great. Really, it's a great opportunity to join our writing community because you can actually find, like literally where you live, a community, and you can join their group and you can develop relationships and find mentorships in that community and support, and it's great and it keeps you like goal oriented. I mean, the whole point is to have a writing goal daily and hit the goal. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to start a brand new story for NaNoWriMo. It just means that you can set yourself a goal for the story you're currently writing. I think my goal for July was to write 20,000 words and A View of the Stars, and I'm already close to like 27,000, but my entire novel is like 45,000. So I definitely recommend making an account and just keeping yourself accountable. Accountable. The last two things that I want to talk about are AMM and Pitch Wars. So AMM was actually created by Alexa Dunn, who is a fellow YouTuber and author. And it is an author mentorship program. They only do it, I believe, once a year, and this year it has already passed. However, Pitch Wars has their mentor program coming up in September. So they are both author mentoring websites where you can actually submit a full draft to a list of authors who have signed up. And if an author likes your story, they can reach out to you and say, hey, I think this has potential. Here's what I think you should do to make it better. So it's basically an opportunity to get an actual published mentor, author, to look over your stuff and tell you what's working, what's not working, what you should fix. It's definitely difficult to get into. This will be my first time applying for Pitch Wars. I'm trying desperately to finish A View of the Stars before September, and I think I can do it because I would really like to submit that one since I think that draft is a lot stronger than Perihelion. But I'm excited at the prospect of having someone who's published and been through the whole process of getting published and knows what to look for, to look over my stuff. Now, it is a very hard thing to get accepted into. There's a lot of people who apply to have their stuff looked at, and there's not a lot of mentors that sign up. So it's pretty aggressive in the sense that more likely than not, you're probably not going to get picked, but we'll see. I'm excited. I'm going to submit regardless and hope for the best. And then if nothing works out, I'm just going to submit again next year to AMM and to Pitch Wars again. That has been my very long-winded recommendations for you guys. Like I said, they'll be linked down below. I hope some of these help you guys. If not, I don't know what else to say. I mean, thanks for watching anyway. That rhymed. That was annoying. Everything is happening at once and also not happening at all. So one last final thing before I let you go. I am currently reading Chilling Effect, and it is phenomenal. And I highly, 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 highly recommend this book. Buy it wherever you can. Buy it from an indie bookseller. Buy it from Barnes & Noble. Buy it from Amazon if you have to. I'm telling you, this book is legit. It's too good. I don't understand how it's so good. It's infuriating how good it is. It has inspired my writing so heavily because Valerie Valdez, I don't understand how you write so well. Why do you write so well? She's so good. You have to read this book. If you like cats that have psychic abilities and space battles and just overall hilarious shenanigans, read it because she has a new book coming out in, I pre-ordered it, September. I think it's coming out in September. I'm excited. So you should read this. I'm already recommending it. And if you guys want like a full review when I'm done, I'm like halfway through right now, or a little bit less than halfway through. If you want a full review when I'm done, let me know. It's really good and I love it so much. All right, you guys, I will talk to you the next time that I talk to you, which is a time to be determined in the future. Bye.